Welcome back to Dungeon Master Tactics. Today we're talking about the Wyvern in 5e and why it can be a great introduction to dangerous monsters. Their 5e entry says that they are the cousins to dragons and they hunt the same tangled forests and areas that their kin do. Wyverns are also known to be aggressive and reckless, and I would say this is probably due to their intelligence being 5. But although they lack in intelligence, they also make up for it in being hardy and strong, as their constitution is 16 and their strength is 19. Additionally, as part of their multi-attack, on top of a bite attack, they have their stinger. Their stinger not only does 2d6 piercing damage, but does an additional 7d6 poison that you need to make a DC 15 con save against for half damage. Additionally, for the Wyvern, it says that it is aggressive and solely focused, which means it will usually focus on one target. So when you play a Wyvern, you're not exactly going to be dealing out tactically placed blows like Arkham Batman. But to also counter that, the Wyvern is probably also going to attack the creature that is bothering it the most in a single round of combat, because it is big enough and strong enough to take on most challenges that would meet it in combat. So if characters are going out on a quest to stop a Wyvern for picking up cattle in a farmer's land, when a Wyvern comes down to get a cattle, it is more than likely not going to see an ambush that is laid for it. But when it is engaged in combat from said ambush, it is more than likely going to try and take out the most direct obstacle from it and its meal. Additionally, in its entry, it also says that Wyverns are smart enough to possibly leave a battle if it is seriously injured enough. So although a Wyvern is dumb enough to possibly fall for an ambush, it is smart enough to know when it needs to retreat, which means it can measure the consequences of staying in a battle or retreating. So as a Dungeon Master, don't be afraid to have a hard-fought fight with a Wyvern, but then have it retreat from the players before it can be killed. Because again, not every creature is going to fight to the death every single time. And in a quest, it can also learn as a valuable learning point for the players to know that, oh, the Wyvern will run away when grievously injured. So after fighting a Wyvern in a farmer's field, then they have to go up to the Wyvern's lair in the mountains. Additionally, it's important to note that Wyverns can be tamed. And they also hunt the same hunting grounds as dragons. So for both tactics and lore, a Wyvern could even serve as a pet or a tamed creature by a dragon that's intelligent enough to do so. And in a quest, you could even explain it as like a human training a crow to bring it things. Also, you can play it off as like a bandit lord who has trained a wyvern to work for him. So at the end of the day, the important things to know while playing Wyvern is don't forget to attack what is getting between it and its goal. But don't be afraid to let the Wyvern fall into traps because it's really not smart enough to notice them. And lastly, don't be afraid to throw out those big hits while playing the Wyvern. It's a wyvern, not a wolf. And that'll be it for this episode of Dungeon Master Tactics. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to let me know down below. I'm Winter Blaze, and I'll see you next time.